Hi, Smile here again. Let's just pretend that I am a mukbang channel and I am going to be eating a head of lettuce. Also, I just found out that my freaking, what's it called? Oh, I just moved out, by the way. Like, I moved out like 2 days ago. I spent my first night here yesterday. Well, 2 days ago now since it's past midnight. And I'm here living by myself. Hopefully this, what's it called? The microphone doesn't like drag on something and it makes a continuous noise, and I'm gonna be upset because that's like the point of the whole mukbang, that you're supposed to hear me eat. But I don't know how mukbangs work since I never really watched any, and I'm just gonna be talking about things while I eat this head of lettuce. I don't really have paper towels here yet because I'm ill prepared and I have like $20 in my bank account. I didn't really want to buy them, so I am here and I am going to just be using this shirt that I was like that was in my laundry, like not like dirty laundry, like it was already washed, but I guess I'm gonna have to wash it again later because I'm eating this head of lettuce. I have no idea if I'm actually gonna finish the head of lettuce, like, you know, like throughout this whole video. It's like gonna be 28 minutes, so maybe, or 20 minutes. So hopefully I finish it. I'm not sure. I had to peel off like 4 like layers of leaf because I guess I got a bad head of lettuce, and I'm really disappointed because I love iceberg lettuce. Also, yes, this is iceberg lettuce. I don't mess with that. What's it called? The one that gave everyone E. coli, like romaine lettuce. Ew, grow up. I want it to crunch and I like the flavor. So, I have this lettuce. I'm going to be eating it and I'm going to be discussing some facets of veganism, I guess. And I'm going to be having this soda on the side because I'm a mess. And this isn't about... Okay, that's actually a good segue into this. Alright, so I want to talk about veganism. So, literally when I tell anyone I'm vegan, they're like, oh wow, you're so healthy. I'm like, to me, veganism hasn't ever been about health, really. Like, to me, it was like about the animals. Like, first and foremost, I didn't really like meat all that much anyways. Sorry, I got a text. I didn't really like meat all that much anyways. Like, you know, like, when you're Latino, your parents are always like, oh, hey, like making freaking carne asada. And I'm like, oh, cool. I was always like, oh, my mom would be like, oh, here, get a plate, get the food, whatever. And I was like, oh, I don't really want the meat. And she was like, no, like, I know, but like, just get a little bit and then get the rice on the side. And I was like, no, fine, okay. And then when I was like in middle school, I was like, my mom was like, get some meat too. And I was like, no, okay, then I'm not hungry. And she was like, huh? And I was like, I'm not hungry then. And she was like, oh. She was like, no, please eat. Okay, fine, just eat the rice. And I was like, okay. I might have just done something. So, at first I was like vegetarian for a couple years. Until I think maybe 10th grade. Which was like freaking like, what, 5 years ago now? 5 or more. And I was vegetarian till then, and then I tried veganism because there was this program in our high school, and they were like, oh, do you have any dietary restrictions? It was like a college visiting tour thing, and so we were going to be on the road, and they were like, do you have any dietary restrictions? And I was like, I'm vegetarian, but if I check veganism, let's see what they do. And oh, yeah, let's see what they do. And they actually accommodated me really well. Like, it was really good, like everything that I ended up doing. So we were like on Route 66 in like the United States, and like visiting colleges and mainly like traveling along that road. It was really cool. I loved it. You know, they had us eating stuff here and there, but they accommodated me in like every single restaurant that I went to. And like they like pre-ordered stuff like before we got there, I guess, like each time. And I was like, there was never a time that they like couldn't make me something exactly. Like for one of them, it was just like they just put their portobello mushrooms in like some barbecue sauce and like put it in a burger, but it was still like, it still was good or something, you know. But yeah, so I did it mainly because like I didn't like animals, or I'm not that. I didn't like meat that much anyways, and then I was just like, okay, I guess I can do it. Like, it's not really that hard, because like the only meat that I really normally ate anyways was like chicken, basically, and that was it. So like it was not that easy. It wasn't that hard for me to transition into like vegetarianism and then veganism. So when I really did try to be vegan more than anything, I was like, at some point one of my siblings had gone to college. My older sibling went to college, and they brought that. And they brought me a flyer, and they were like, I thought you might be interested in this. And it was like go vegan, like groceries that you could like get as alternatives to regular milk and like eggs, dairy, meat, stuff like that. My sibling was like, yeah, this like crazy vegan chick like made me take this. Like she was not letting us leave without taking it. So like I thought you'd be interested. And then like since then I had like the support of at least one person in my family. Like my mom tried and like definitely like did help me cook some of the stuff or like try new things, because she was like, okay, well these things are technically healthier anyways, so yeah, like we should do that. And so like I wouldn't ask for anything outside of the stuff that we normally bought anyways, so she would like, we would just make do with the stuff that we bought on regular groceries, because I didn't want to put any strain on my parents because of my dietary choices. Yeah, and then also like I had a pet pigeon, and like I was eating chicken or like chicken nuggets or something, or a chicken sandwich at some point in front of her, and I was like, dang, you're right, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a hypocrite, I love you to death, and that's rude of me, and so I'm just not gonna eat meat ever again. That was like early on, that was like middle school, you know. So I was like part of the transition, like why I'm like, well, I don't really need to eat chicken anyways. And so yeah, then from then it's been pretty easy sailing. Like I've gotten used to like looking at what not to eat, I guess like I don't remember the dye. Is it like red dyed 40 or something that I'm not supposed to eat because it's crushed beetles? I'm not even sure. That's like one of the ones that I really don't know. And then there's also like the discourse in the veganism between like honey and whatnot. Like to me, I think it's bee slavery. Like it's bee slavery. But there's also like the discussions that like beekeepers are like, well, we naturally source it anyways, and if we just leave it in there, and they'll just keep making it, and then they'll die or something somehow. I don't know. I don't know. So like I generally don't eat honey anyways. Like I don't really eat it in anything that I don't put it in coffee. I don't put it on a banana. I don't really use it on anything anyways. So like it's not really something that like occurs in like my day-to-day dietary choices, but it's still like something that I think about every now and then, because I'm like, should I eat honey if I ever did want to? Should I not? I don't really care for honey, so it's not really something that I'm like too strung up on. And then this isn't exactly about eating, but there's also like the discourse between horseback riding. I don't think horseback riding is a good thing, because like in nature, you know, like whenever will a horse have like a whole 100 extra pounds on their back, you know? Like, and then like what's the point of horse riding anyways? Like what appeal do you get? Just like ride a bike or something. Oh, like I think the only thing that appeals in like riding a horse is like a sense of status, basically. Like, oh, I own a horse and I'm riding it, and or what's it called? Laziness, maybe? Laziness, showmanship. I don't like you're using an animal, like when they use animals to perform in crap. Hate that shit. So it's like, it really depends. No, not it depends. I personally would never ride a horse. Like I did once in 5th grade, so that was before all of this. That was before like me deciding to avidly like not eat meat or anything like that. But, and so, another thing is like, wool. I think like everything that I have does not have wool. So like, I don't care about it really, because like everything that I have is like polyester, cotton, or spandex maybe. I haven't looked exactly into like if spandex or like polyester are bad things. I know that like polyester is technically like just thin as plastic, so it's bad like economically, or not economically, environmentally. So, that's why I'm like, I'm not too pressed on like all of it. And like, sure, there's gonna be like some vegan purists who are like, oh, you should do everything right. I'm like, look, I don't own leather. I don't want leather. To me, it's not like, not to be like, this isn't going to sound bad, but like, and this, to me, it isn't about being like green or eco-friendly. it's just like a personal choice. And so I'm not really mad if other people do it. Like, if you recycle, at the very least, I like you. Like, you know, like, don't throw your trash on the floor, this and that. Like, that's at least the economic or environmental part of me. But aside from that, like, being environmentally conscious is pretty classist, I guess. Like, not like it's a sense of like classmanship, but it's like you have to acknowledge the economic disparity between a lot of people and how like how much more expensive some things are than other things. Like, look, I would love to use solar powered for everything just because like it saves money, and I guess, well, like, to me, basically more because it saves money and it feels more like free to use it that way, like to use solar energy. But you have to like pay $1,000 to get like a whole like good setup that will like actually make a difference. Because like you could get like one to three like freaking totaling up to like what, $300 of our solar panels, and like those 3 solar panels are gonna like light up like what, 3 lamps or something. Like it really just, I don't know, maybe there's better solar panels now, but when I looked into this when I was like younger, I was like, this is like a lot of money to invest into like really small stuff off the bat. I'm like, yeah, eventually it'll pay off, but like when am I gonna have the extra money and where it won't like hurt to spend like the freaking $100 or $200 for like to make a difference with like one light bulb, you know? And like I like to placate myself and like satisfy, appease myself with buying things anyways. So like I'm not, again, environmentally friendly because I do like buying clothes and stuff that I don't really need exactly, but I do like wearing, and I do wear. And like eventually, like when I die or something, I'll just like donate them or let people who want them have them. Like I don't really care, you know. But that's like one of my coping things, you know. Like I'm a very materialistic person. But back to the wool thing. There's the discourse about that. Like wool, like they need to be sheared. Like technically they do need to be sheared, but then like what like dictates when it's fair or vegan or whatever. Like maybe if I'm the farmer and I'm shearing them and I know that I'm not hurting them and I'm not making them bleed because I'm not getting too close to their body, then I'd be like, okay, yay, I'm shearing them. And then there's also like, I guess I haven't heard much discourse about this one, but like they're like, well, free range eggs are vegan. And it's like, well, if the hen is making it themselves and you're not feeding them the supplements to make the eggs and then you just keep them, then like, yeah, I guess that is vegan if you're like the one owning it. But I'm like, when you think about like, unless it's like, if it's from a farmer's market, I'm more inclined to believe that they're like vegan in the sense that it's like ethical to the most degree. But like if you're buying free range or cage free eggs, like how moral or ethical is anything where there's like a mass capitalistic machine behind it to where they're selling it for like $3, you know? Like, I don't know if I can trust it to be the most ethical thing ever. Like, you're like, you know, like even for stores or whatever, we're like, oh, they have low prices, but maybe they're like using bad labor from another like country, or using like children as labor. Like, you really have to like think about all this stuff. But this doesn't have to do with me being healthy. Sorry, I'm just like going on this whole vegan tangent, I guess. One thing that I did see that made me feel better, so like I personally, like at college I was a lot more vegan than I am here and like home, but since I like live alone now, I'm probably going to be like as vegan as possible. And my thing is, if I'm going to go out with people, like almost no one I know is vegan, or like at the very least some of them are vegetarian. Like everyone else is sticking to like you know, like omnivore diet, and I'm not gonna be a buzzkill, and like if I can get the vegan option wherever they want to go, then obviously I'm gonna do that. But at the very least, I'm doing vegetarian. If I'm like, if it's like a birthday party and they're going out somewhere and like they want me to come or whatever, then I'll be like, oh, okay, I can eat this here, and like we'll be fine. I can still go with you. We won't have a problem. But one thing that really bothers me about like that is I don't get why people who are omnivorous are so like, they're so much more stern on me for my dietary choices. Where they're like, oh, you had pizza? Like, that's not vegan. Or this and that. Like, even my father, will be like, oh, why don't you eat this? Like, it's vegan, isn't it? And like, that's like a different thing than like people who are like, oh, you ate pizza? That's not vegan. Like why do you care? Like, actually, why do you care? Because every time that I've been like vegan or whatever, or like when that comes up, and they like hear that, they like always get, like, I know sometimes they're joking for the most part, but like, why need to point some of those out and that kind of hostility, I guess? Like, you think I'm dumb or something? If I'm adhering to the vegan lifestyle, I assure you, I know what I'm eating and what it, like, whether it is or is not vegan. So you pointing out is like redundant and pedantic, because like with any other person, do you do that to them? You know, like, since like omnivorous people are basically the status quo and what is deemed normal right now, you wouldn't be like, well, there's not really much of a range for you to like criticize what they ate. But if someone was like, oh, I'm a pescatarian, and they like eat like a chicken sandwich every like once, you're not gonna be like, oh, I thought you were a pescatarian. Like, would you? Unless you're like a douchebag. Like, I wouldn't expect you to. Or like, if someone's on a diet, you're not like, if they have a cheat day or whatever, you don't yell at them for that. You don't, well, not like saying anyone's yelling at me, but you're not like, oh, I thought you were on a diet. Or if someone's like, oh, I made the decision to like stop drinking soda for the year because I want to get healthier or slimmer. You're not like if you see them drinking soda, you're like, oh, I thought you weren't drinking soda. Like, what happened to that? Or, hey, you're drinking soda. Like, why would you say that? I don't think there's not very many like instances in normalcy where you would come to the conversation with that kind of like confrontation to someone's own personal decisions. That's like me knowing someone's Christian and being like, why are you working? It's Sunday. Like, I thought you weren't supposed to work for Sundays. Or like, why aren't you at church? I thought you were Christian. Like, having that kind of thing. Being confrontational about someone's personal decisions is kind of dumb. Like, if you know someone's adhering to certain lifestyle, you don't know whether, one, they stopped entirely, or two, if like they're having a cheat day, or like they're doing it for like health benefits or something. I really don't like when people go vegan for like to be healthy or whatever. Like, yeah, that's a good idea, or like that's a good cause, I guess, if you want to be healthy. But like, you don't have to be vegan to be healthy. Like, there's people who like their idea of being healthy is being vegan, which is like dumb and misinformed. Because like, you can just eat healthier, like eat less red meats or whatever, or like eat stuff with less fat, or stop going out to fast food places, or like stop drinking soda. Like, you don't have to be vegan to be healthy. And that's why I'm like, to me, it's a personal choice, mainly rooted in like caring for animals and stuff like that, you know? It's not like I'm not doing it to be healthy. Like, I won't deny that it makes me feel better to some degree. Like, like when I went from, I guess, vegetarian, or like from omnivorous to vegetarian, I won't deny that it like made me feel a lot better. Like, it made me, I felt more energetic, and like how intense my depression wasn't as intense anymore. But I don't know if that, like, I don't know the neurological differences that like could be made from the vegetables that I ate, because like, as opposed to like me almost never eating vegetables and just eating like rice and meat, and having to eat vegetables because they're committed to vegetarianism. But I'm here now, I guess, and I'm eating a head of lettuce for myself, really, because I like iceberg lettuce. And this was like one of the main videos that I had like planned ever since I was like, even before I was like gonna move out. I was like, I know I want to do a mukbang where I eat a head of lettuce, but I didn't think I'd be talking about anything exactly. I thought I'd just be eating it, and I was hoping my lighting would be different, or like better. But here we are. Next time I'll pull out the LED lights. I just didn't want to now because we're trying to be conservative on energy because we're poor. But you know, we'll get there. I had more things to say. I can't really remember what. I'm probably gonna finish this head of lettuce, if I'm being honest. Like, I didn't eat breakfast, I only had lunch. And before you crucify me, I just had, like, a pizza for lunch. And then I have rice, because I didn't want, like, the pizza to upset my stomach or something. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sending a snap to people. Because I am mukbanging. I'm sorry, not because I'm mukbanging, because I got a snap from someone. And I want to at least have some little bit of a distraction while I'm doing this, because I want to have some connection to reality outside from me knowing that I'm just eating head of lettuce on camera for like 20 minutes now. And I'm still going to keep going. Sorry, I was gonna do plans with my friends, but I'm eating this, and they were like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, it's late." Anyways, I had more to say. Let's see, what is it? Oh, I have a story about the lettuce, actually. Oh, this is like running out of time. Let's see, 1 second. Okay, I had a story about the lettuce. I just reset the timer because it like, for like the quality of video, it has like a 20-something minute timer, like of how like much it can record, which is weird because I see people like do long one-take recordings on different devices. Like on my phone, I can do a 27-minute record, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so why I'm doing iceberg lettuce? One, because I like lettuce. Well, I like iceberg lettuce specifically. I don't like romaine lettuce. I have a story about lettuce. So my friend, love him to death. I'd already told him that I like lettuce, right? And he would walk around, like I knew him during high school, and he would walk around, like just like leave his house, walk around, do whatever. And this one time I was pretty bummed, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to the store, like, do you want me to get you anything?" And I was like, "No, not really." Like, he was like, "Oh, like, do you want a head of lettuce?" And he was like, "Will you like eat it? Like, will you like eat it if I get you one?" And I was like, "I mean, if you get me one, like, yeah, and if you don't mind, like, it's like $1.50 if you want. And if you like really want to get me one." And he was like, "Yeah, I don't mind." And he's like, it's iceberg, right?" And I'm like, "Yes." So like, 15 minutes later, he's at my door, and he like knocks, and he's like, "I'm here," right? And he like hands me a head of lettuce, and he's like, "Please eat that." And I was like, "Joe, you have no idea. Of course I'm gonna eat it." Like, when I said I wanted a head of lettuce, I meant I want a head of lettuce. Like, I'm not just gonna not eat it. And also, you bought it for me, so of course I'm gonna eat it. Like, that's wholesome. I didn't eat it all the way, like in one sitting. Sorry, it's getting like yellowed. There's like spots on the root, I guess. And I'm pretty sure it's a bad thing. Also, are you supposed to wash lettuce? Like, I really don't. I'm not sure if you are. If you are, I'm gonna die. We never wash our lettuce. And we just take like off the first like 3 or 4 layers. Because like, you know, they're like assumably touched the ground. And like they're normally like a little like dying or whatever. But so yeah, my friend got me a head of lettuce because I was down in the dumps. And I ate that. I was watching a movie. Or was I playing a game? I think I was playing a game. And I ate it. Like, I ate half of it. Probably half of it, actually. Just like picking at it. Like taking off the leaves, eating it. Like a freak. But, like, it's good. I think there's people who are like, I remember when I was in college, this one person, like, they had this little sandwich place, and I'd get like the black bean patty and everything, you know, and you like put what you wanted on the burger in front of you. They had romaine lettuce only, and they were like putting it on there, and then there was like this crunchy part that they like it looked stiff, so I was like, that's how I knew it was the crunchy part. They like were gonna throw it out, and they're like, "Oh, you know, like, I know you don't like, you probably don't want the crunchy part, like no one does." And I'm like, "Wait, no, I want the crunchy part. Like, what do you mean? Like, romaine lettuce doesn't even taste like anything, and then it not having any texture makes eating the sandwich boring too. Like, it doesn't taste like anything, and it doesn't have texture. What's the point of putting it on your sandwich at all, aside from like decorative and like to feel like you're being healthy or something?" Well, Oh no. That piece of root, like, near the leaf was bad. Or not bad, but, like, it was still, like, pretty gross. And I'm like, what's the point of eating lettuce at all if you don't want the texture? And, like, it doesn't taste bad anyway, so, like, I don't know. I wish I had iceberg lettuce. Also, the outfit that I'm wearing, I don't know if you can tell. Floral pattern, I've worn this before. And then I'm wearing these, like, flare pants, basically. They're cute, they're, like, pastel. These are little, there's, like, rows of flowers. I don't know if I can, like, there's, like, rows of flowers in some parts. And then, like, butterflies on the other seams, I guess. Can I, like, zoom that in? I'm sure you can, like, see it if I, like, stretch it out. I don't want to stretch it out too much. It's a little veilish, so, or, like, sheerish. So, like, if I'm being honest, you can see my underwear. Like, not, like, see my underwear, but you can, like, see the design. Like, it has a panty line. Like, a panty, like, I guess it's not like, yeah, it's a panty line, but it's, like, a wide one. Because it's, like, this is, like, women's clothing, but I wanted it. It looked cute. There was a matching, like, bust top, but I couldn't find it. They didn't have it in my size, so unfortunately I had to return it. But I kept the pants because I love them. They're, like, very flares and long. I got them in a medium, and, like, normally I think I'm in, like, a women's large in, like, both areas because of, like, broad shoulders and everything. But, like, I feel like these shorts or these pants need to be shorter because, like, they touch the ground, and I'm not wearing, like if I'm wearing regular shoes. If I'm wearing, like, high platform shoes, like boots, then probably they won't touch the ground. But I haven't done that yet because I was living at home when I wasn't, like, you know, not like I wasn't allowed to wear what I wanted, but I didn't want the remarks of, like, oh, why are you wearing that, or anything like that. Like, they wouldn't stop me, but they'd be, like, cynical, right? They'd be condescending to a degree about, like, my outfit choices. So now I'm here. I can wear whatever I want, and I can record myself eating a head of lettuce because why not? You know? I don't know. So this video doesn't really have a purpose. It's not like, oh, hey, be vegan, don't be vegan. It's just me saying that it's annoying when people, like, chastise you for your own personal decisions, I guess. Like, because, like, people confront me about it more than I do. Like, I already am holding myself pretty, like, adamant to, like, the vegan vegetarian thing, but, like, why do you need to check me? Like, please mind your business. It is literally my dietary choice, and if I wanted to stop, I would, and that doesn't affect you in the slightest. Like, why bring it up, I guess? Like, just let me be, just let me hang, you know? It's whatever. Like, let me eat what I was gonna eat. I do, however, like, the people who are, like, overly apologetic when they're like, oh, hey, let's go eat here, or they're like, oh, or when I'm eating with them, like, somewhere, and they, like, offer me a piece of, like, their meat, I guess. That sounds wrong. A piece of their food that is meat, like a burger, like a piece of, what else, like, the bacon, I guess. Who offers someone bacon? I hated bacon. I tried it once in, like, elementary school from, like, a Burger King, like, burger, and I was like, this is what people like? It's ugly, it tastes bad. Whatever. Yeah, when people, like, overly apologetic people, when they, like, offer me a piece of meat or something, and I'm like, oh, I don't eat meat, like, I'm vegan. They're like, oh my god, I'm sorry, like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, stop, it's fine, like, I appreciate the offer, like, really, it was sweet of you to offer, but, like, I'm sorry that I can't accept it. So, we just get, like, in a cycle of being apologetic towards one another for my dietary choices and for them having offered. Those are always cute interactions, but I don't know. There was this one thing that I read or heard I don't remember. Was it in a video or something? But this one guy, was it a guy? If I'm reading it, why am I projecting man dumb onto that phrase? But no, they were like, well, like veganism is a practice, you know, like if you're practicing something, you're making the avid choice to continue practicing it. It's like when you're like a vegan, you're practicing veganism. If you lapse, like that's fine. People lapse in all the things they do. You know, how many practicing like people of faith have you seen divert from faith to some degree, or like do things that aren't faithful to their like respective denomination? Or like how many people who are on a diet have you seen like they're practicing their diet, but then sometimes they just don't. They like lapse and then they eat something else. Like, so you're practicing veganism if you eat away from it. Like, that's not a problem. You're still practicing veganism. Like, you're still vegan if you, like, every now and then, like, not, like, very frequently. Like, otherwise you might as well be vegetarian. Like, if you're every now and then diverting from the veganism and eating, like, you know, cheese or something. Like, you're still a practicing vegan. You just ate something that wasn't vegan. So, of course, this is, like, very limited. Like, if you, like, eat meat, I'm probably going to be like, okay, then you're not vegan. Just say you're vegetarian and that's it. Because to me, I have no intention of ever never eating meat again. When I made the choice not to, like, that was cold turkey. That was it. Like, I was like, I'm not eating meat again anymore. That's it. Because, like, to me, obviously, it didn't appeal to me that much anyways. But some people are like, I can't live without meat. I can't live without bacon. Whatever. Look at me. Oh my gosh, my roommate. He was like, oh, if you're vegan, like, he kept trying to, like, chastise me for, like, to find something, like, so, I don't know. He was just trying to fight me or something. He was like, oh, like, you're vegan? And I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, he takes, like, like, he kept trying to find something to, like, be like, why I shouldn't be. And he was like, do you take B12 supplements? And I'm like, no. And he's like, do you take any medications? To, like, do you take any, what is it? Like, vitamin supplements? And I was like, no. And he was like, are you, like, frequently tired? And I'm like, dude, what do you want? And he's like, then how do you, like, develop muscle? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I literally, dead ass, I look better than you right now. Like, I should have said something. I was like, oh, is that why you eat meat, to look like that? Because, like, I was like, why are you coming at me? Like, I'm clearly, like, not to be, like, negative about that, but, like, I was in better shape than him. So, like, why is that one of the things you're going to pull out of your ass to try to, like, chastise me for being vegan? I don't know. That was dumb. That was weird. But people who have something to say about that kind of stuff are normally dumb and weird anyway, so. Like, I was like, what do you want? I was like, what? Like, that's why I'm like, that whole thing, I'm like, are you just trying to make yourself feel better or something? Like, where's that coming from? Why do you need to, like, confront me? Like, is it, like, you being guilty that you're like, oh, shit, like, I'm eating and killing animals here by, like, not being vegan or whatever? Like, why are you coming at me? Are you trying to, like, divert guilt or something? Aw. Okay. I know I've eaten a lot of this lettuce. Like, look how small it is. But, like, I don't feel like I've eaten, like, any lettuce at all, honestly. The only reason I'm eating it as slow as I am is so, you know, I can talk and get some, like, conversation in. But, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm in pretty good shape. And I'm not doing it to be healthy. I'm doing it because I care about animals. Now, you know, at first I wasn't. Like, a little bit into it, I was like, yeah. I love animals, and I feel like it's hypocritical to say, like, I love animals if you eat animals at all, to any degree. Some people are like, no, I can say that, because, like, I own animals and I love them. And I'm like, no, okay. You like the convenience of your dog. You like the subservience of your dog, and you have bias towards dogs, or whatever your choice pet is. You still eat cows. Why? Like,
Also, I'm like, you're literally just biased towards a domesticated animal, and that's it. So I'm like, you love animals, but you love the animal that you domesticated and is like convenient to you. And so let's get controversial here for a second. You know when people, there's like the Chinese dog eating festival or something? I think that's in China. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there's like the dog eating festival or the celebration where they do eat dogs. And like people get mad about it like every single year. And it's dumb to me. Because I'm like, to me, yeah, I think it's messed up. But I think it's messed up to eat animals in any degree. So, like, I'm not more heated. But people here, like in America, are only upset about the whole like dog eating thing because they're like used to domesticated dogs, you know? And like, I'm not saying that like they're not domesticated over there, or they don't have dogs for pets. But I'm like, why be upset if it's a cultural thing, I guess? Like, not like I'm saying like, oh, everything is like, if it's under the guise of cultural, like, then like you can just do whatever you want. Like, no, I'm saying like, well, like you eat beef, but in like, I think India, there's some practice there in like mid-Asia that like cows are sacred, and like they have like fish or chicken only like in their McDonald's or like their fast food restaurants because like their faith, their practices. I'm like, right here we don't treat it like a big deal, and like I don't think I've heard of them holding any ill will towards like here in us in America, or like even if they're here in America, you know, like I don't think I've heard of them holding ill will towards people who eat beef, you know, like unless they're like maybe a religious extremist to some degree, but I don't think I've seen that. I don't eat beef. Who am I kidding? Like, I've never heard of a conversation where they're like, oh, you shouldn't eat beef, because I don't. I think I've just heard them be like with dating, they're like, please don't eat beef, or don't order beef, please. Something like that when they're like meeting their parents. But aside from that, like, I haven't heard them be malicious towards people for them not adhering to their practices. And like, Americans' conceit just has that whole thing, the whole problem with the eating dogs. And that's why I'm like, you only have the problem with eating dogs because you're normalized to owning dogs and you're biased. Just like a whole cultural bias. And in dogs' favors, I guess, is like pets. And so I'm like, you're literally only drawing the line between like house pets and just every other animal in general. I don't like that. So, I don't know. I don't like hypocrisy, I guess. Yeah, that's the biggest thing about it. I just don't like the hypocrisy in it. Like, I'm like, just say, I'm like, if you're gonna criticize the dog thing, just say, I'm a bitch. That's it. Just be like, I think it's wrong that other people eat dogs because I like the concept of pet dogs, or I have a pet dog. Don't say, oh, it's wrong that they're eating dogs, because no, it's not wrong to do anything, technically. Like, technically, it's not wrong of them to do anything. They're eating something in practice and or celebration, and I think it's like to honor dogs or something. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it, obviously, because I really don't care. Well, like, if you're gonna be someone who eats meat, and like you're gonna be biased about people eating other kind of meat, like, big whoop. Like, honestly, like, big whoop to you, because like you're only upset because it's a certain kind of meat. Like, I guess if it's like a person, it's technically immoral, but like it's not immoral if it's like that story where that person got like his arm or leg amputated, and he was like, hey guys, who wants arm taco? And his friends were like, sure, we'll eat arm taco. And it was his arm made in taco, and they ate it. So like, what is, well, it's not wrong to me, since like you're killing a sentient being and eating it. It's wrong to eat any kind of meat to me. Like, you know, If it's like, oh, it's already dead, or you're a hunter and it's like to control over population, like you're a liar. I'm not sure. Okay. You know, I'm getting a little full. Like, I can obviously finish this. It's super tiny. I don't know how. Like, look, it's like. Oh no. Did I finish it? That means this video is gonna be like 50 minutes long, maybe. And like the center part of a lettuce isn't that good. Oh my gosh, my air is turned on like 3 times already. And I was gonna work out, and then I was gonna shower before I go to sleep. Well, this eating lettuce video is taking a lot longer than I expected it to. Oh, I almost gagged for a second. So, remind me not to do a mukbang. Again, because this is like, uploading this is gonna take a long time. I don't think I'm gonna edit it, really. Aside from like, putting the intro and outro, and like splicing the 2 or 3 videos together, because it's like 40 minutes long. But gosh, uploading this is gonna take a while. Like, I guess technically it might just take like an hour, because I'm gonna condense it, like the size, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't take an hour. No. It'll be whatever. When it's up, right? I didn't sip from my soda once during this. Oh my god. I don't know if I'd want to either. I'm dying. Like, it's not like... It's catching up to me, but there's like nothing left. One second. I'm gonna take a snap as I tell you this also. This mukbang video is like 40 minutes long, and I'm like, I'm almost done. But it's like long. Dog, come on. This mukbang video is like 40 minutes long, and I'm like, I'm almost done. But it's like long. Dog, come on. Oh, it's barely 2 a.m.? Girl. What am I worried about? I thought it was like 2 a.m. an hour ago. Well, I take it back. I don't care. I'm doing great then. Because if I shower before I go to sleep, then I don't have to shower in the morning to go to work. Oh my gosh, I have a little bit of a headache. So, but that way, I can sleep in till like 30 minutes later. Normally, if I'm being honest, I go to sleep at like 5 a.m. and then I wake up at like 12. So it's like 7 hours of sleep. But if I go to sleep here at like 2 or 3, or not 2, because I have to shower and work out. If I go to sleep at like 3, then I still get 9 hours of sleep. Or I can get like to 10 hours because I decide to wake up 30 minutes later because I don't have to shower in the morning. I only have to eat like breakfast. This might work out. I'm going pretty good. It's barely 2. I'm so excited. I really thought. I really thought it was a lot later. I'm so glad. Okay. I'm done. It looks like a pine cone. It's like the very center. Oh. I guess I'm done. Let me snap that too and add it in here. It's just like the center. I don't care. That's it. I'm done. You know. Well, hi. If you watch any of this, I'm sure people would disagree with me or fight me about the veganism thing, or hope like veganist purists maybe will fight me. Omnivores or carnivores only, is that a thing? Might fight me for my opinion on the dog eating vegetable thing. Some people might be like, I actually tried human flesh, and I'll be like, God, whoa, god damn. Y'all are cooler than me. If I got my, I mean, obviously, if I got my leg amputated or something, I'd try human meat anyways too. But I don't have the luxury, and I have like 3 friends, and they are all in perfect health, and none of them are in the military or anything. So they probably won't need their arm like amputated or get it amputated. So I guess I'm out of luck. I'm not gonna eat human flesh ever. You know, whatever. Privileged. Or I guess I'm not privileged because I'm not gonna get to eat human flesh. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's scary. I'm looking at my closet and like it looks like there's like an upside down like little alien with its eye, like his eye looking through the closet door. But whatever. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of me eating lettuce for literally like 45 minutes maybe. I had fun. I ate this lettuce. It was very good, I guess. I don't know, like, what's the benefits of lettuce? I'm probably gonna look that up after the video because I'll be like, wow, I'm gonna be so full of lettuce power, lettuce benefits. I'm gonna be like, it'll be like Popeye, but like because of lettuce, I guess. That, or I'll have a terrible dream and then lettuce will like beat me up in my sleep. It'll just be a head of lettuce and it won't even have arms. It'll just be like a telepathic lettuce and it'll be like and it'll be like hitting my body as it's sleeping. I'll be like, no, and I'll be tossing and turning, and then I'll wake up and like it'll have like little ding, and I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, thank goodness it was just a dream. But then right next to me will be my head of lettuce husband, and he'll be like, what were you dreaming about? Other lettuces? What am I saying? Okay, if you made it this far, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. But I guess that's all I had to do. That's all I had to say. I'm sure. All I had to say. I said a lot of things in that video. But thank you for tuning in. If you do, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for coming back in time. If I ever grow platform and people are like, oh, let's watch this head of lettuce video, as if I'm not gonna advertise it every single year as an anniversary to me moving out. Well, whatever. Yeah. I guess. Thank you for watching. That was fun. I'm gonna get rid of this lettuce because it's like yellowed, it's the center, and there's like really like speckled pieces. There's like a couple ugly yellow pieces here. I think those would be bad. So that's it. That's all I had to say. Sorry, hiccups. And well, thanks. Honestly, like, this was fun. I hope you think it's funny and or fun or entertaining too. I hope it is ASMR-ish satisfying. And like you heard the crunches and you're like, ooh, this is nice. I hope maybe you get to like see this and be like, oh, this helps me retain eye contact with people. Or, I don't know, anything. If you get anything out of it, that's great. If you get entertainment, if you get ASMR pleasantries, if you get new little intakes on veganism, I am satisfied. But I guess that's all I had to say. Bye. See you next time, and whenever I post, and I'm gonna try to get back to the uploading every Monday schedule, except this Monday because it's gonna take a long time to upload this. But that's it. Bye.